Welcome back to another Luxury Fridays. I'm your host, Michael LaFIdo. You're in the right place. If you're an individual agent, you're a team leader, you're a broker owner, and you're looking to differentiate yourself from the competition as we go into a shifting or cooling market. Just a couple things. We're going to have a guest on today. We're really excited. But before we introduce her, just a couple of reminders. We do want consumers. I have people that are connected through multiple social media channels. This is being streamed on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. So from time to time, we have a consumer that will ask us a real estate question. So although Luxury Fridays is catered more towards licensed real estate agents and brokers, we do from time to time get questions from consumers. For those of you that are watching on Instagram, the best way to ask questions or for us to even bring you on camera is go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you can type in Marketing Luxury Group, and that's our YouTube channel. Matter of fact, I will put that on the screen right now. But if you go to Marketing Luxury Group on our YouTube channel, that is literally how you can come on screen. And again, just a couple things. We are 18 days away from our next in-person luxury designation training. 18 days away. This will be our fifth in-person luxury designation training in 2022. Started out in January in Denver. February, we're just outside of San Antonio. March, we took the month off because of spring break, but April, we were at Miami Association of Realtors. May, we were here in Chicago at Medina Country Club. Because of the summer months, we took the summer off, and in September, we're going to be in Milwaukee. So about 20 to 30% of people that attend our Lux designation trainings fly in for the event. So there are still tickets available. You can literally go to luxurydesignation.com, if you're interested. We are going to be giving away a bunch of bonus items. There's over $2,000 in bonus items, including our video brochure and a bunch of items listed. Go to luxurydesignation.com. Additionally, we are hopefully going to be making one more Lux designation announcement coming up in the future in November. We'll keep you posted there. Again, if you have questions, type them in the comment section. So no matter what platform you are on, you don't have to download anything. I can bring you on screen as well. I'm literally going to type in the comment section right now, and you can jump on literally the whatever device you're on right now. You can jump on our live stream by clicking on that in your comment section at goofystreamyard.com and a bunch of numbers and letters. If you click on that or copy and paste that, I can bring you on camera. Just a couple housekeeping items. We do, if you're watching the recording of this, we post these on our YouTube channel. So if you go to Marketing Luxury Group, you can look at previous Luxury Fridays. We are bringing on guests more and more often. Again, our goal is to increase your knowledge, your confidence, give you the tools to be successful in any market, but especially in a transitioning market or a cooling market. As I like to say, we are seeing things slow down a bit. In Chicagoland, we just had our 100th $4 million sale on September 1st, our 100th $4 million plus sale in Chicagoland. And it took us last year in 2021 till the end of December. So although we are cooling, the $4 million plus market is still pretty darn strong here in the Chicagoland market. My guest that I'm going to be bringing on here shortly is out of the Austin market. We'll talk Austin real estate, but we'll also talk about an important organization, which I want to queue up right now. So One of the things I teach agents is you grow your knowledge and your confidence will grow. I also tell agents, if you hang out with 9 top producing agents, 9 agents that have an abundance mindset, you're bound to be the 10th. Zig Ziglar once said, if you hang out with 9 dead broke people, you're bound to be the 10th. So, one of the things I believe is really important is your network and the associations that you network with. So, we have these various organizations in real estate, right? You have Women's Council of Realtors, you have YPN, you have ARIA, which is the Asian Real Estate Association. You have NAREP, the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And Gary Acosta was in Chicago just last night, but unfortunately I could not attend. But their annual conference is coming up at the end of September. I was going to say next month, but we're already in September. At the end of September. You have NAREB. NAREB is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Black real estate agents were not allowed to be realtors, members of NAR, until in the 1940s. NAREB was launched, and they just had their 75th annual conference, which I spoke at last month in Tampa. Well, another group that I'm really excited to be part of. I am a member, and I've spoken at their conference last year in December, virtual conference, but their in-person conference is coming up end of this month, is the Alliance, the LGBTQ Alliance. So becoming an ally is really important. So I'm going to be bringing on a guest here to talk about that. So again, you don't have to be Asian to be a member of the ARIA. You don't have to be Hispanic to be a member of NAREP. You don't have to be a person of color, Black, to be a member of NAREB, as well as with the LGBTQ Alliance. So on our Luxury Fridays, we're going to be spotlighting these various groups, these various associations. And our first spotlight on Luxury Fridays, we've had them on our podcast. Most recently, I believe, our 202nd episode. But I'm going to bring on Aaron Morrison. Aaron Morrison is with us from Austin, Texas. How are you doing this morning, Aaron?
I am doing lovely. Thank you for asking.
Well, thank you for coming on today. We have guests on from all across the country. One of our regulars is down in beautiful Naples, Florida. Mark, thanks for jumping on today. And then Harry Cherry says, can it be taken virtually, or do I have to fly out to attend the live event? So, Harry, I'm going to ask that to Aaron in a minute, but I want to provide with you guys Aaron's email address. It's just aaronmorrison@realestatealliance.org. And again, the Real Estate Alliance website is realestatealliance.org. And I want, before I even bring Aaron on to say a few words, I want to share with you the Alliance website, because most people are visual by nature. And so literally, you have here the realestatealliance.org website about becoming a partner. They have their big event coming up, which is September 28th and the 30th in Vegas. I'm presenting on, I think, Friday the 30th. I'm excited about that. Or maybe it's Friday the 29th. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but it's going to be an amazing event, and that's coming up. And so with that being said, we'll show you here in a minute a little bit more about the actual event. If I click on that image, it takes you over to the actual event page. It's at the Resorts World, and there's a lot of information on there. So I will minimize this, and let's bring on our guest. Aaron, thank you so much for joining. Are you in Austin right now as we speak?
I am in Austin, only for a few more hours before I head back out again. But yes, I am currently in Austin, Texas.
Well, I know you're so busy, so I do appreciate you taking time for us. You have been on our podcast. You were our 202nd guest, I believe we talked about. And by the way, those of you that are watching on Instagram, the best way to watch and see Aaron and ask Aaron a question is to go to luxuryfridays.com and click on that top link. If you go to Luxury Fridays, click on that top link, that will redirect you over to our YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button so you won't miss Aaron or future guests whenever we go live. So, Aaron, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and tell everybody about your role currently, as well as your 2023 official title within the Alliance.
Absolutely. Well, it was an honor to be on your podcast, and it's a pleasure to be here today. So thank you again. My name is Erin Morrison. I am a full-time residential realtor here in Austin, Texas. I've been in the business about 6 years, 6.5 years. I came from the oil and gas industry. I was previously a petroleum landman and in the land space for about 17 years. I have a beautiful wife named Sandra and a 5-year-old daughter, Mina, who is honestly the reason I get up every day. They are my everything. And as far as my title and my role, I am the current chapter president here in Austin for the Alliance, in addition to being president-elect on a national level for the Alliance. So next year I will hold the title as president for the
So
Alliance.
you'll
Yes.
be the president next year. That's
Yes.
exciting. And you help lead the chapter there in Austin.
Correct.
So the Real Estate Alliance was launched in 2020.
That is correct. June of 2020.
Yeah, in 2020. And so in 2 years, you guys just celebrated your 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to hold you to exact numbers, but approximately how many members are part, and I'm a proud member. How many members are part of the Real Estate Alliance?
Yeah. This is really exciting to share because in just 2 short years, I think the latest number I got was around 2,700 members.
2,700.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you have chapters. You call upon members saying, "Hey, we'd love to grow the networking, grow the cause, have some various networking, but also help with allies." How
Mhm.
many chapters do you have?
We have over 50 chapters. Some of them aren't as active as others, and we are definitely growing as we gain traction and people start to recognize us. They then are like, "Oh, we don't have a chapter in our market. How do we get this going?" So it is us reaching out and others reaching out to us to start new chapters.
That's exciting. And so, tell me about the Austin chapter. How long has that chapter been in existence, and what does a chapter look like? If I were an agent in Austin, I know every chapter is different. You mentioned some chapters are more active than others, but
Yeah.
specifically, you could probably speak best to Austin. Tell us a little bit about what does it look like to be a member in the Austin Alliance chapter.
Sure. So this is a little embarrassing for me to admit. So we've actually been we've actually been a chapter since the Alliance launched in June of 2020. However, with COVID, it was incredibly difficult to get any kind of events planned. So we really didn't get any traction and true membership until this year.
Sure.
It was kind of my
Understandable.
yeah, it was kind of my mission to really get this growing, get some more membership, and hand it off to next year's president so that I could take on the national role. But I would tell you what we've done this year is we do networking events every month. It's usually the third Wednesday of every month, and it's all over town. We'll pick a spot north side, another place central, strictly networking. We do have educational events. As a matter of fact, yesterday our chapter partnered with AREP and with WCR. We had a realtor safety event where we had Carl Carter from the Beverly Carter Foundation speak, and we also had Janelle, and her last name escapes me, but she was teaching self-defense techniques to the audience and our members. We have charity galas. We're trying to plan something for Q4. And then we also did a charity event. This was really fun. We went to a drag brunch and we raised money for Out Youth, which is a organization here in Austin that is serving our youth in the LGBTQ plus community. So we do a lot of fun stuff.
So 12 months in a year, what are we looking at for your chapter? About how many times do you meet?
At least 12, if not more.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
good.
meet every month. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So again, if somebody who's interested in becoming a member of the Alliance, correct me if I'm wrong, it's on the screen now. They should probably just go to realestatealliance.org.
Correct.
They can become a member there. They can probably look up the chapters as well, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's great. Now, Aaron is joining us today, and we were going to have another guest on, but unfortunately, under the weather a little bit. And I got to show the screen on this here, because this was from our event in May. So as I mentioned, we had an event in May, and I had the Blues Brothers come out. So you see the Blues Brothers and myself up there. But Ryan and I had I call it a fireside chat, even though it was a lunchtime chat. And he tells the story of the alliance and the history behind the alliance. And so he's not here to tell that today, because, as I mentioned, he's under the weather. So I want to have Aaron just tell us about a little bit of the history and why the alliance exists from not just an outreach standpoint, but from an advocacy. And also there's some alarming statistics on how in more states than not, I believe it was 29 the last time I had Ryan on, that in housing, right? We're talking about fair housing. We're talking about somebody buying a home, selling a home, renting a home. That the last time I had Ryan on, I believe, or maybe it was you on our podcast, was it you that said 29 states it's still illegal? Excuse me, not illegal. It's still legal in 29 states for if
Correct.
somebody's selling by owner, if they're a landlord, they're renting, they can discriminate based on somebody's sexual preference, sexual orientation. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So the Alliance, tell us a little bit about what the Alliance does and some of the funds that the Alliance raises
Yeah.
to advocate, to educate, to go to Washington, D.C. and advocate. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, sure. So the alliance was formed by several people across the country. We were in another organization, and that organization, we felt needed a little bit of a revamp. We came together. We were very passionate that we continued the mission of ensuring that our community is protected when it comes to discrimination. So we formed the Real Estate Alliance. So kind of like a phoenix coming from the ashes. We decided to continue that mission. It was very important to us that we do so. So the Real Estate Alliance is a 501c6 organization. It's a nonprofit organization that answers to its members, that fights for fair housing as it pertains to those within the LGBTQ plus community. And as you mentioned, there are 29 states currently that do not offer protections when it comes to housing discrimination to those within our community. So a lot of people, especially in the real estate space, say, well, it's in our code of ethics. We're not going to discriminate. We're realtors. We have a code of ethics to abide by. And for those that aren't necessarily realtors, in our code of ethics, it says that you are not allowed to discriminate based off of gender identity or sexual orientation. However, not everyone that practices real estate or that does a real estate transaction is a realtor that has to abide by those code of ethics. So you mentioned an example where we have a landlord. A landlord can openly discriminate, no problem. There's no protections for us. There are people that do transactions in residential real estate that are not necessarily realtors, and they can discriminate as well.
They're licensed real estate agents, but not realtors.
Correct.
There's
Absolutely.
about 1.6 million realtors out there,
Correct.
which I think that number will come down if the market shifts. But I don't even know that. I should know the next thing I'm about to say, but maybe you do. Maybe you do. How many licensed real estate agents are there? And out of those, there's 1.6 of those million are realtors, but how many total license? There's over 2 million, I think, correct?
Yeah, I don't have that number. I'm sorry.
No,
in front of me, but I'm sure we can certainly reach it.
Me too.
Yeah. But point being that not everyone that is practicing real estate or is in the real estate space is a realtor that has to adhere to the realtor code of ethics. So, like I said, 29 states. like for instance, Texas is one of them. That means that people can openly discriminate. There are some municipalities, Austin has protections, but you go into Round Rock, you go into Pflugerville, Waco, Dallas, they don't necessarily have protections. So another thing is people think that we are protected federally under fair housing laws, and that's not necessarily the case. There is an executive order in place, but as soon as someone else goes into office, that they could wipe that away, and we don't have those protections. So it's not codified, it's not into law. So we actually do still have we very much have a problem that we need to fix and resolve, and make everyone aware that this is still in existence and needs to be taken care of. Yeah, and fought for.
So a couple things. For those of you that are just watching or tuning in or watching the replay, we have Erin Morrison on. She's out of Austin. She runs the Austin Alliance chapter, the LGBTQ Alliance chapter, and she's 2023 president-elect. Yeah, right? Is that right? President-elect?
Correct, yep.
She's talking about the history and how 29 states. So is there an easy link or resource that our viewers or live viewers or people watching can say, I'm You there, Erin?
Got it, yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Our internet was okay on our end, but I'm glad. So I started to ask a question. Those of you that are watching the live stream, I started to ask a question, and I said, "Is there an easy link or resource that you can share with me, or that I can post later that says, hey," and if not, no offense, that would be an amazing resource for the Alliance to put together a simple one-sheeter of, hey, here are the 29 states, or here are the states. I think would be a great resource. Do you guys have that?
I do believe that it is on our website. People can go to realestatealliance.org. There's tons of information and data out there. I would invite people to look under the news tab. There are wonderful articles that we have out there in regards to the Alliance, to fair housing. You can also check out education. There's some classes that we offer as well. And
Perfect.
there are, there's a wealth of information on there for others to poke around and look at.
All right. So the top bar, if you're looking right now, I'm on the education tab. You got news. You can click on the news tab. It
Correct.
redirects you over to updated news.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, you got the rankings, which so that's good to know. So thank you for that. So that's real important. And then so yeah, that is something that I want to make sure our members that are watching know. So go to the realestatealliance.org. Again, if you guys have a question, please type it in your comment section right now for Erin or for myself, and that would be we'd love to have some interaction with our guest and asking questions about Erin to Erin about the Alliance or something that she's covered, or you'd like to ask her a question on something else maybe she hasn't covered. So that's the time to do that. Again, I'll put her email on here. If you guys are watching the replay and you can't ask in a live stream, you can always shoot her an email at emorrison@realestatealliance.org. So we were frozen there for a second there. I'm not sure what happened, but we're back live. My assistant said we were good, so I'm not sure the internet gremlins got the best of us there for 7 seconds. But we're back. Those of you that tune back in, appreciate it. Again, if you guys have a question, type it in the comment section. So talk to us a little bit about the conference. There's still tickets available.
Yes.
For anybody that is interested in the actual conference, I've thrown the URL up there, but if you just go to realestatealliance.org, you'll see on the main website, they'll talk about the convention. Click on that link, but I put it on the screen for you right now as well. What could somebody expect from attending their first Real Estate Alliance conference?
Well, I am first of all so excited for this conference. This is our first ever in-person conference. We attempted to have one last year and we sadly had to cancel due to COVID. It was heartbreaking. So this year we are incredibly excited. We are having our conference September 28th through the 30th in Las Vegas. There are still tickets available. Ticket prices for members are $725 and for non-members are $900. That cost gets you 70 speakers. We have over 30 different tracks for you to choose from. We have Carson Kressley as our MC. We have Dominique Jackson from the show Pose. That is going to be a keynote speaker. We have Christine W., which is an award-winning dance music artist. We have an after party at Zed's. It's going to be amazing. We are really, really excited. And it's at Resort World, which is a brand new resort compound. It's massive. It's amazing. And yeah, we're really excited.
I'm excited. I'm staying at that resort as well, and we're really excited. So I'm lucky to be one of the presenters, and
Yeah.
I'm really thankful to Ryan and you and the Alliance and what you guys are doing. And Ryan's a great character guy. You know, I mentioned this in my in my previous event that I had in May, but you know, in today's day and age where people are so quick to judge, you know, without going into details, Ryan is just a high character guy. I want to show a picture of Ryan because he can't be here today. So there's Ryan and there's Aaron. This was our promo for some of you that saw today. And so one of the things I told members that people that watch our Luxury Fridays, if you're tuning in each Friday, 11 a.m. Central, right here, same time, same place. There's always an exception to the rule if I'm traveling or have a conflict, but for the most part, 11 a.m. Central each Friday, we're bringing on guests. I'm looking at my big wall. I have a whiteboard right here, Aaron. And so obviously we have you on today. Next week, I have a couple agents on, one of which is they have a real estate attorney on their team, and they were asking me, how can we leverage having somebody with attorney experience on the team? How can we leverage that from a differentiator? We're going to talk about that next week. In a few weeks, I have a top luxury insurance broker. So when homeowners need to get insurance, he throws them out to Cincinnati, Chubb, and various. And so we have various guests on with various topics on our live stream. And then, of course, we also have our podcast, which we've had Erin on. She was our 202nd guest. So again, if you guys have somebody on that you'd like to nominate, shoot me an email, Michael at Marketing Luxury Group. Shoot me an email, Michael at Marketing Luxury Group. But I have Erin, and that's my email's on the screen right now. I have Erin on. And one of the things we wanted to talk about is not just what the LGBTQ and the Alliance is, what are the benefits of joining, okay? And so the second half of the benefits of joining is the networking, and she talked about at her local chapter in Austin. So tell me a little bit about the search feature, where if I'm an agent in Chicago and perhaps I have a buyer client, a seller client that is LGBTQ, and I want to connect them with a LGBTQ friendly agent, that's a great feature on the website as well. So tell everybody about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We are very proud of that. We do. So first, let me go back. That yes. Membership to join is $200 for a year, and the majority of that money goes right back into the chapter, so that the chapter can use those funds to continue to have bigger and better events for networking, for educational purposes, and for membership drive, right? So it's a nominal amount. You make that back after one referral, right? And then some. But we do have a nationwide referral network. And also, to clarify, you do not have to be a residential real estate agent to join. I mean, yes, we want you there, but you can be an inspector, you can be a stager, you can be insurance, you can be mortgage. Anyone that has their hand in a real estate transaction can be a member of the alliance. And so, yes, if I have a client that is looking to move to Washington State, I know that I can go into our database, look to see who is there, and connect them with a mortgage lender, with a realtor, with home insurance, and just kind of pass that off and know and feel confident that they're going to be taken care of.
That's a great. So thank you for correcting me, or maybe I just wasn't clear enough. But yes, you do not have to be a licensed real estate agent to be a member. Could
Correct.
be could be a strategic partner, lender, title, inspector.
Correct.
Some, but all real estate related, or no? It could just be a private citizen.
Not to be a member,
Yeah,
you would want,
real
you would need to be
estate
a real estate professional in
related.
some capacity. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And again, so you're looking at $200. Well, I jumped the gun here. It's $200 annual fee, but
Correct.
Ryan and you guys have provided us a $50 promo code. If they use the code LUXE22,
Mm-hmm.
they'll get $50 off. So for the first year, it's only $150.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's to become a member. $200 annual fee, or with the promo code 150. But you also mentioned for the live event, which is coming up, there's obviously a lot of cost involved. There's so many moving parts. That
Yeah.
that price is really cheap for how many days that your event is.
Yeah.
It's a great cost for that. So there are still seats available. So if you guys are interested, I'm going out there. I got a booth. There's over 70 speakers.
Correct.
Check it out. If you haven't checked it out, the best way to do so, as I've showed before, is go to realestatealliance.org. That's how you can join, but you click on the event page. It's all over the page. You'll see it. And that's where you can learn more about the actual event. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Good. What haven't I asked you, or what haven't we talked about, Aaron? You've been a wealth of knowledge. Again, those of you tuning in, where you got Aaron Morrison here, we're talking about realestatealliance.org. I highly recommend agents join, become a member there, become a member of NAREP, ARIA, NAREB, as well as perhaps others that I'm not even aware of. So those are all great associations, and not only from a diversity of learning standpoint, but also diversify your networks as an agent, but also for great causes to raise awareness. So some really good information there. So I appreciate that. But what am I missing? Did I cover everything from that standpoint?
From the conference standpoint, yes. There is one thing I also want to bring up. We
Please.
have an ally certification
Yes.
course
Thank you.
that we offer, and we're going to be offering that in person at the conference. So that is something that we are really, really proud of. It's the brainchild of Alex Cruz, and he did an amazing job. I actually sat in on the course a couple of weeks ago. It's really good. So for those of you that are allies that would like to learn more how to better serve the LGBTQ plus community in a real estate transaction, this course is for you. There's some nuances that are taught in this certification, things that people that are not necessarily in the LGBTQ plus community necessarily think of. So this course is wonderful. We're really proud of it. It's going to be offered in person at the conference as well.
Friday afternoon, I believe.
Yes. So, and just some stats for you and for the audience. So the recent Gallup poll that came out showed that nearly 8% of adults identify as LGBTQ plus, which is a big jump from the last survey. We are also showing that 70% of Americans actually support same-sex marriage, which is also a jump in the right direction, a great jump in the right direction. So also the report report from NAR is that 11% of the membership identify as LGBTQ+. So we are really excited and encouraged by those numbers. Just wanted to share that with you.
Sure.
Oh, the other thing to note is that the home ownership rate for those that are not necessarily LGBTQ is about 64-65%. And those within the LGBTQ plus community are at about 49% home ownership. So we really want to try and get that closer to the national average.
So that's a great initiative, right? So NAREB, they want increased Black ownership,
Correct.
and these various organizations. So 49% versus, you said
64, I think is what it
64-ish.
was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Ryan has shared with me through other conversations that uh, the wealth of within the LGBT community is much higher than the average across the country for married couples or what have you. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have that data, and maybe you don't, but isn't that correct as well?
I would tend to say so. I don't have that data in front of
Okay.
me either. I have heard that same thing, and I think we talked about this on the podcast. And my suspicion is that our community has had to really prepare and cover themselves contractually with lawyers for a long time. So they made sure that they had their trusts in place, their finances in place, because there were a lot of things that could we didn't have protections on, right? So I think that they just kind of really prepared themselves and covered themselves to make sure that they were okay.
Yeah. Well, on the screen right now, we have a question from Susan. What perspective should a realtor take to and from Alliance? One who is not, I'm not necessarily understanding this question. Maybe Aaron, you do. If
Yeah.
not, we can ask Susan just to elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah. So if I'm taking this the right way, and I'm going to use an example, and Michael, you can probably expand on this.
Sure.
You learn so much from going to another conference of which maybe you are not a member of that population. For example, I attended the San Antonio conference for NAREB, which is the real estate brokers for our Black community, and the amount of information that I learned of things that they are having to continue to fight against and their history, I walked away feeling almost ashamed that I didn't know all of this stuff already, and it was very eye-opening. I'm really excited to attend NAREP in San Diego at the end of the month. And so I think that for an ally who is coming to the Alliance conference, you'll probably walk away with the same eye-opening ahas. Like, I had no idea that this is what our LGBTQ plus community was having to deal with. I cannot believe that these are some of the discrimination stories that are happening across the country. So I think it'll just be an eye-opening educational experience for you.
Awesome. And she said that's precisely what she meant. So Aaron, thank you for answering the way you did, because I
Absolutely.
wasn't exactly sure. So that was helpful.
I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, Michael? I mean, when you attended NAREB or any ARIA, you learned so much about about
the history,
the
right?
challenges that they're having to go through.
The history, the barrier to entry, the
Correct.
discrimination that's occurred.
Yeah.
Hey, where are we at? We can always get better. The unification standpoint, and that's what I admire too about Ryan. And we've talked offhand. He goes, you probably vote differently than me, but I respect you. And so I think love is love, even if somebody votes differently than you. It's not just, we're not just saying love people that think the same exact way as you. And so that's, I think, really important. Be respectful of other people's opinions, build others up. Shantae Patton, who is head of education for NAREB, and she's been a big fan of ours, and I've been a big fan of her and her husband. But I remember having her on early in 2020, during the pandemic when a lot of the George Floyd protests were going on. And she talked about come from a place of understanding, right? And so that's really important, right? The old, hey, until you walked in somebody else's shoes. So, there's
Mhm.
many times that we're quick to judge or, people on both sides. And what I would remind everybody is come from a place of understanding and your fuse, your wick will be a little bit longer. And I think
Yeah.
you'll be a little bit more sensitive.
And to carry on with that, the most important part of a conference is honestly the networking, right? Meeting other people. So I would invite her to come and come with an open mind and really get to know members and people and attendees that are there. Listen to their own stories, listen to their own struggles, listen to the challenges that they've had to endure, and why they're a member of the alliance. And
Yeah.
I think you'll walk away with a lot, and you'll be very happy that you came.
I think you're absolutely right. And right on the screen right now, for everybody, we have our podcast up on the screen, which the URL is also on the screen at Luxury Listing Podcast. We just released recently. Let me refresh this. We just recently released a podcast with Dugan Riley. He was an intern for me last year, Aaron, and he just got licensed in May, and he's hosted 15 open houses in 3 months, including a $4.5 million. He's got a $1.9 million listing, and he literally is taking step by step exactly what we've told him. That's from intern to hosting $4.5 million open houses in a market that he didn't know anybody. But I want to scroll down. He's 204, and there's 202. Where are you at? Oh, you know what? Maybe you were 198. I think I misspoke here. There
Here
we are.
I
You're
am.
198. I thought you were 202. So for those of you that are watching, Aaron was our 198th uh, episode, and so I encourage you to go to luxurylistingpodcast.com and listen to our 198th episode, and you'll hear Aaron Morrison and myself go deep, a little bit deeper on some of these topics. And again, there I had Undercover Billionaire 200, Glenn Stearns. 202 was a gentleman I had down in Miami who launched a luxury division for his boutique brokerage, and he also happens to be the owner of the CDPE, Certified Distressed Property Expert designation. He's a good friend of mine, Tony Martinez. And our 206th episode, which is being released next week, I have a young lady who's with Remax in Texas as well. And she attended our live training in January of 2020, right before the pandemic, along with the head of Remax's luxury division who was there at the time, Ann Miller. And since that training, she's increased her average sale price by 60%. And so we talk with Lucinda Gadsden on our next podcast. And by the way, she made more money than ever before last year, and unfortunately, she only worked 6 months because she had a bad bout of COVID in 2021. But she talks about working smarter, not harder. And that's our next podcast episode. Don't forget when you guys go to luxuryfridays.com, luxuryfridays.com, literally, and it's on the footer right now, Luxury Fridays. You'll be redirected over to a screen that looks like that. And the top button is always our next live stream for Luxury Fridays. Again, it's typically at 11 a.m. Central, but if there's a conflict, then we move it around. And don't forget our podcast. Our podcast is simply luxredefined.com, Lux Redefined. And our latest podcast, 3 effective engagement strategies. How do you keep your current clients, your past clients, your sphere engaged? Watch our video. Go to luxredefined.com. All right, back to our guest, Aaron. Aaron, any last minute words of advice? I'm looking for our comment section. Um, Oh, thank you so much, Gladys, for the nice comment. Um, and Aaron is a rock star. Aaron, last week I was at this amazing mansion. I was at this amazing mansion, and I'll tell you where it is. If you go to my upcoming events tab, guys, and literally when you go to my upcoming events tab, you can you can look. And we just did an event. It's not on here right now. Here it is. We did this event last week down here for Combs Realty. They rented a $17 million mansion, and I did my training from the mansion. It's a predominantly Black-owned real estate brokerage. They're doing some amazing things in the Orlando, but they're also all through Florida. We had people drive up from Miami. We had people drive down. They're also in Georgia, and I'm going to be having them upcoming live stream as well. And here's our upcoming events. We got my Milwaukee. We of course have the Alliance, and then the Miami International Congress event. So I wanted to make sure we pointed out that. But Gladys, thank you so much for your comments. Any other comments, any questions for Aaron? This would be the time to ask them. Literally, all you got to do is type those questions in your comment section. Type them in the comment section, and we will ask her. If you are going to be sending a question after the live stream, the best way is shoot me an email, Michael at Marketing Luxury Group. But I'm also going to give you Aaron's direct email so you can email her. And I know I put it up there earlier. Let me try to find that. There we go. You
Yep.
can email Aaron directly. Anything else, Aaron, that you'd like to add? And if we don't have any other questions?
No, not too much. I'm just really thankful that you had me on today so that we could talk more about the Alliance and the upcoming conference. So hopefully everybody goes to Milwaukee and then comes to Vegas to come and see us. So thank you again for having me on. And I really would love to see all of the audience that's here today and watching. I'd love to see you there.
Yeah, we'd love to see them there as well. Many of our audience, like Harry. Oh, by the way, is it going to be virtually streamed? You know, is there an option?
I do not think that this year we are doing it virtually.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Now, but uh, however, your ally program
Is
is
for, yes.
it's a
So
virtual
you can take it.
certification
Yes,
class.
correct. That is
So Harry,
offered.
if
So if
that's
you
what you
just
were
want to
asking
take that, you can.
Yeah, so Harry, if that's what you were asking about, yes, if you go to realestatealliance.org, and if you go to education, okay, click on that, you'll be directed to this website. You'll see the next one is coming up in November.
Right.
Your next live, your virtual, okay, and then they also have in person as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
thanks for asking that, Harry. I appreciate you. Harry's been great at asking questions. He's been popping on here. He's a regular. Uh, so, Aaron, with that being said, let me look. Is there any questions? Uh, oh, there we go. Will I be offering the certificate? Well, I'm not offering my certification in Vegas, but Ally is offering their Ally Alliance certified in person in Vegas. But Gladys, I'm not doing my Lux designation event. I didn't want to take away from their first annual event, but I know Ryan and I have talked about maybe teaming up at future events together. So that's a possibility. But in September of this year, we won't be doing our Lux designation event at their event. But please come on. Let me put it to this way. To make this no-brainerish, Gladys, if you attend the Ally event, I will knock off $250 for any future in-person designation event just because I believe in what they're doing so much. So I want as many Lux viewers coming as possible. So if you think you're going to attend an upcoming event or you want to go to Milwaukee the week before, let me know. I'll knock $250 off as a thank you for supporting the Alliance and their first annual conference.
Michael, that is so generous. Thank you so much. That
Oh,
is a
no,
great deal.
it's the
Yes.
least I can do. So hopefully, Gladys, make sure you private message me. Make sure you send me a note. Again, my email, I'll put it on the screen. If you sign up, let me know, and I'll make sure our staff looks out for that, and we rebate you that money. Michael LaFIdo, guys. Aaron, I want to thank you for your time today. And again, I'm putting Aaron's email on one last time for anybody that has a question. Again, go to realestatealliance.org, and Aaron's email is emorrison@realestatealliance.org. Aaron, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Consider you a friend, even though we haven't met. I feel like I know you through virtual Zooms and everything
Oh,
else.
you're getting a hug. You're getting
And
a hug at the end of the
I'm
month.
a hugger. I'm
Yeah.
Italian. And so I look forward to meeting you here in less than a month.
Absolutely. It was an honor to be on again. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Aaron Morrison from realestatealliance.org. Thank you. All right, guys, my name is Michael LaFIdo. Again, if you guys have a topic you'd like me to cover, if you'd like to have a topic, please, by all means, shoot me a note, shoot me an email, shoot me a private message. Go to luxuryfridays.com. You can contact me through there as well. And we'd love to add on. So I'm going to have somebody from NAREB coming on. I'm going to have somebody from NAREP, from NAREB, from ARIA. I'd love to have someone from the WCR, Women's Council of Realtors, and YPN. And if I'm missing another group, by all means, let me know. But those are the most common ones that I'm familiar with, but maybe you're familiar with another one. We'd love to feature them. Again, grow your network. Okay, grow your network, and your net worth will increase, because people want to do business with people they like and they trust. People want to do business with people that have similar synergy in certain causes as them, right? So one of the things I teach agents is when you go on a listing appointment and you're getting a tour of the home, make note of where they went to school and what they like, and maybe Google them ahead of time, look at their social media, and your conversion rate will skyrocket. Don't tell people what they want to hear, but if you ride a Harley and they ride a Harley and you have something in common, or you're a member of the Alliance and I'm a member of the Alliance, or you're a member of NAREB and I'm a member, again, you're more likely to give referrals and get referrals from people that belong to those same organizations. So again, my name is Michael LaFIdo. Make it another great Friday and prove others wrong. And again, love is love, guys. I challenge you to build others up and step out of your comfort zone. If you were raised in a Christian-based or a Catholic or whatever your denomination is, and your parents maybe weren't open to diversity or weren't open to loving people in the LGBT community or being open to it, I challenge you to step out of your comfort zone that you were raised in. I challenge you to be more open, because I'm telling you, you're going to be enlightened by the love and the support, and just how I believe what God calls on you to do is love everybody. Love thy neighbor, whether they vote the same as you or not. And so that's my message. I had Erin on. She was amazing. And I think that's it for today. You guys were awesome. Keep raising the bar, prove others wrong. And again, step out of your comfort zone. I challenge you to take this Ally certification course. I challenge you to become a member for $200. I'm going to put that up there one more time. If you guys go to realestatealliance.org, if you go to realestatealliance.org, and if you use the promo code, and if the promo code doesn't work, let me know and I'll get you the right one. But I'm pretty sure it's $50 off if you use LUXE 2022. You'll get $50 off your annual membership, your first time annual membership. And yes, Susan, one more time, I'll put it up. Thank you. It's just realestatealliance.org, realestatealliance.org. I'm Michael LaFIdo. Keep raising the bar for whatever it is you do and prove others wrong. Until next time, this is another Luxury Fridays. I'm your host, Michael LaFIdo. We'll see you next week.